Throwing the nozzle on this ladder is done automatically. There is a stow button here. And when you hit that stow button, you have to wait. And the computer senses that you want to stow the nozzle, and it goes through a series of motions and sets the nozzle where it needs to be to bed the ladder. A common mistake on this is when people hit the stow button, it doesn't happen immediately, so they hit it again. If you hit it again, you've just disabled it. So when you hit the stow button, give it a few seconds, you'll see the nozzle start to move and prepare itself to get the ladder into the bed. Okay, we'll go down and go over a few of the overrides for the aerial, and remember, those are to get you out of trouble, not to get you into it. And the nice thing about the overrides is it takes two people to decide to do something really stupid, so think about it before you start pulling the overrides. So here we are at the rear of the truck. We'll go over a couple of the overrides. In here is the drain for the aerial. It's just a quarter turn valve. It's a beautiful anodized red aluminum. There's a little tiny water in there. We keep that closed. Just remember, like any other ladder, you do not want to retract that ladder when there's water in the pipe. Open that drain first, let it drain out before you retract the ladder. Okay, because you got a chance of blowing some seals if you do that. Here are the overrides. It's pretty self-explanatory down here. Joel, could you grab me that towel off of there so I can wipe this off? There's an aerial hydraulic override and a stabilizer override here. And then, as you see over here, these are all the buttons, and they correspond with these valves to move the aerial up and down. Left beam, left jack, right jack. So these overrides are buttons down here. And if you could come down here, there's buttons on top and on the bottom of these valves. And they're kind of hard to push. I know I'm not the strongest guy out there, but you've really got to push the valve. There's a lot of pressure, hydraulic pressure in there. So if you want to operate any one of these outriggers or want it to do something, you push the valve corresponding to in or out or left or right. To get the ladder out of the bed in an emergency, someone has to be down here pulling the aerial override while somebody up there is getting the ladder out of the bed. Once it comes up to a certain degree, 10 degrees, and the ladder's out of the bed, you can release this, and then the guy at the pedestal will have control of the aerial. One last time. Overrides, there to get you out of trouble, not to get you into trouble. Okay, that's pretty much it for the aerial. Like any other truck, if we're going to pump out of our aerial, we want to pump it. That's the best way to do it. That's the way our driver likes to do it. So remember, if you're supplying us, we will take it into the pump and we'll pump our own aerial. One more thing, we'll show you where we have the nozzle. It's in the rescue position now, and it's extremely simple to operate. The way that you can tell that the nozzle is on the second fly and not the top fly is right here. This lever is back towards the back of the truck, meaning that the nozzle is attached to the second fly. When this lever, and I'm not tall enough, is forward, that means that the nozzle is on the top fly for firefighting. And sorry to do this to you, cameraman, we're going to need to jump up there one more time to show you how to operate that. It's extremely simple. There's no wires that you have to unhook and reconnect, depending on which fly it is, but we'll show you the cam device on top real quick, and that should be it for the aerial. So this is the procedure for changing the nozzle from the second fly to the tip. As we saw, the lever is over here, and it's a camming device. It's very simple to do. You pull that lever up a little bit, this cam comes out. What did I say, simple? There you go. So it flows over, you knock it down, and you cam that over. So now the nozzle is on the tip, and you can tell by the lever over here being towards the front of the truck. Very simple. No, like I said, no electrical connections. You've also got all your aerial and stream devices here, so you can control it at the tip. Anybody can do this, even an officer. And that's it. Here we have extended one of the outriggers on the truck just to show you a couple things that you could have an issue with. They're very simple, and I want to talk about this, so in case you have trouble stowing it, it's a simple fix. We have the pins here for the outriggers, and they have to slide in there and slide down. I have this extended down some. When this plate comes up, this pin will come up to here. And the reason that's important is because there is a sensor inside here, if you can get under here, that senses that that pin is in, and that tells the computer that this outrigger is completely stowed. Okay, so this has to be up, and this has to be in. That pin has to sit right next to this sensor. There's also sensors on the top here that have to be triggered to make sure you have enough pressure on the outriggers. So, like I said, it's a rolling computer, and these are just some of the faults that could occur, and they're pretty easily solved if you know what to look for. And that should conclude the aerial portion of this video. Thanks for watching.